Prepare yourselves. Zach Walker is online now. I will find you, human. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning. I'm Zach Walker. This is Zach's Variety Show. Happy Wednesday. It's Wednesday, everybody. We're going to try some Microsoft Flight Simulator today. This is my flight stick. This is my yoke. Not my yoke, my throttle. So, how's everybody doing? We're going to give it a try. It's been a while. So, let's go ahead and see if we can't add display capture up here. Hiding deep in the woods. Add a game capture. Okay. There we go. We're going to add the game capture. Right about there. And then we're going to, there we go. Okay. And then technically, I need, that's my mail. So I'm going to grab that real quick. Okay, we're back. Okay, so I have to go to this scene, and we're gonna fix this. We've got a display. Ooh, I need to move this down here. And then we're gonna add the game capture MSFS, and then we're going to turn off display capture. And then we're going to move MSFS down to there. Hey, there we go. So we've got everything we need right here. And we're going to lock this. Boom. All right. And actually, let's make it just a little bit smaller. There we go. And then we'll put it over here. And then we're going to take turn our background on. All right. And then we're going to grab our random message. And we're going to make it Flight plan. Okay, we're going to move this up a little. Right there. We're going to make our message flight plan. And then KC. And then we're going to add our, so this is our basic flight plan. We're going to move it. Why don't we plan it out right now? So we're going to depart from ACLM. We're going to depart from parking ramp 16, fuel box, and then we're going to fly to Spokane, KGEG. And add CTAC as a stop. And we're going to make it a high altitude airway flight. Technically, we'll make it a low altitude airway because we don't need to go above 18,000. So well, never mind. All right, we're going to go straight to KGEG, Spokane. Hit the nav log here. I go up, cruise, and descend. All right, that's not that bad. All right, there we go. So we're going to do this. Gate 16, departure water, zoom arrival, all. Approach automatic. Our flight conditions are going to be live players, live traffic. Okay, we're going to go off. No air traffic displayed. Multiplayer only. Then weather and time will be set to real-time conditions because we have live players. Okay. So let's head back. And we are going to fly this. All right. So we're not actually going to go KC. We're going to go KGEG. Day's flight plan. I'm going to unlock this and move it right there. All right. Let's be ready to fly. All right, so we are ready to go. We are going to need 50% fuel looks about right. That should be plenty of fuel to get us where we're going. Let's take a look around the airport. A lot going on. We're the only player around. Okay. Let's go ahead and reset our trim to 0. Then the computer's going to set our trim where it wants it. Okay, that's the only thing I have automated is trim. Alright, so let's roll in here. We are going to jump into our plane. And the first thing I'm going to do is come over to the power board. And we are going to set the external power on. Then I'm going to test standby power. Okay. Left gen on, right gen on, APU on, both batteries on, bus tie open. We are ready to go. So we are running on external power. So we are set here. We're going to turn our icing on. It's a little cold out this morning. We're going to hit our lights. And we're not taxiing yet. Turn our floods on. Arm our emergency lights. Turn on our inspection lights. Nothing here yet. I turn on our flight director. I'm going to preset my altitude to 5,000 feet. We can change that when we get our clearance. And then we're going to we're going to turn heading bug on. That's all we're going to do. We're going to click to manual mode on speed, and we're going to go 220 for takeoff.
Probably too old for Instagram, but you are not? Yes, come join us on Instagram, Leafwalker.
Okay, so we've set our speed to 220 for takeoff. Our comms down here. Big blue eyes. Okay, so I've moved our comms over there. Our flight assistant up top. We got our map. And on isoline and geo tracking. Alright, so we've got this stuff set. We're going to come down to our flight plan and double check it. It's not in yet. We're going to double check that flight plan in a minute. Take our speed bugs to all on. Weather on. We'll come back to this later. We are going to turn our fuel valve to open. Throttle's idle. We are going to start up our APU. APU bleed normal. We're going to take our right engine to run. And we're going to hold. And we're going to take our left engine to run as well, and we're going to hold. Put those covers up. We do not want to start the engines yet. We want to come on over. Speed bugs all on. We're going to go GPS navigation. Bearing 1 will be nav 1, bearing 2 will be nav 2. Already their speed bugs on. Our minimums will be 500 feet. our PDF, our wind at option 3. That is ready to go. Okay, now we're going to reset to center, check our battery. Our APU is spooled to 100%. So we're going to go ahead and start up right engine. And we'll go ahead and watch that spool up. There's our pressure. Should see the engine power come on. And we'll go from half power to full power engine in a second. Okay, our engine's stabilizing. Alright, so our engine's stable. So let's go down and start up number 1. So we're going to start engine 1 now. See it spooling up. There's no need to watch this happen. We're going to come down and check our flight plan now. We're good. KCLM, departure water, do 1 water. Lots of other things, and then KJAG. Alright, so that's good. Let's hit that airport. KJAG. And let's assume this elevation is 720 feet. So we're going to make our minimums 920 feet. So we're going to go back over. Actually, we want 5. Minimum before we land is going to be... Okay, 720 is the altitude. So let's go 1,020. That's our minimum. Well, we'll go 1,000 feet. That'll give us 300 feet. So our minimum will be 1,000 feet. We do not want to go past our minimums. Okay, our engines are on. We're going to kill the APU gen. Kill the APU. Okay. Our engines are spooled and stable. Let's do a flight surfaces check. Rudder. Ailerons. And there we go. All our flight surfaces are working. Let's check our flaps. Okay, we're going to set our flaps to 2. Okay, so we're good there. All right. So let's go ahead and call for clearance, and then we'll ask for our taxi.
Clearance delivery orbit 2515 IFR to Spokane, ready to copy. Orbit 2515 is cleared to Spokane Airport as filed. Climb and maintain 9,000 feet. Departure frequency is 118.2 squawk 4314. Clearance void 30 minutes from now.
Okay, let's read that back.
Orbit 2515 cleared to Spokane Airport as filed. Climb and maintain 9,000 feet. Departure is 118.2 squawk 4314. Clearance void 30 minutes from now.
Okay,
Orbit
let's go.
2515 read back correct. Good day.
Alright, so we're gonna go 9,000 feet. Let's go ahead and grab the weather real quick here.
Kilo Charlie Lima Mike automated weather observation 1600 Zulu. Wind 272 at 12. Visibility 10. Sky condition clear. Temperature 17 C dew point 10 C altimeter 2998. Kilo Charlie Lima Mike
2998.
automated weather observation 1600 Zulu. Wind.
Okay, so we've done that. Let's go ahead and announce our taxi.
Kilo Charlie Lima Mike traffic orbit 2515 is taxiing to runway 13.
Alright, let's go ahead and hit our taxi lights. Parking brake off, push back. Alright, we're ready. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We are going to be pushing back now and taxiing down to the runway for our takeoff. We're expecting about a 20 to 25 minute flight to Spokane. Weather seems to be clear and welcome. Thank you so much for flying Orbit Air. Alright, here we go. So, we're going to go ahead and taxi on out of here. That is not the runway I want to take. There's a bus there. See where the bus goes. Okay. We're gonna follow the bus. Well, let's select our runway for takeoff real quick here. We're gonna go runway 8.
Kilo Charlie Lima Mike traffic orbit 2515 is taxiing to runway 8.
Alright, we're switching runway. We're gonna taxi all the way down the runway 8. Okay, we're slightly fast taxiing. I'm not really gonna hit the brakes, but we'll just coast the rest of the way. We're slightly drifting back towards the center line. That's what I want. And we're just gonna make our way all the way over there. I think we're in good shape. Alright, we're gonna do a check of the air. I don't see anybody. Yeah, generally we would ask for clearance. But at the hold short line, we're already cleared. Don't see anybody. So we are going to line up on runway 8. And we're going to depart straight out. Or some reverser on here. This is a pretty tight turn without left-right. I wish I had left-right engine control. It'd be a lot easier to taxi around. It's just one limitation of this flight stick and yoke. Is that I'm limited by the fact that it's a single engine lever. Alright, we're going to line up. Get our nose on the midline. That's pretty damn close. Alright. So let's go ahead. We're going to come back over here. We're going to sync our heading with runway heading. We're going to start with just heading. We'll flick altitude when we get up there. Our speed is ready to kick on at 220. So let's go ahead and punch it. We're going to announce departing straight out.
Kilo Charlie Lima Mike traffic orbit 2515 taking off runway
Toga,
8 straight
Toga.
out departure.
Alright, we're spooled and ready to go. 100% thrust. Little rudder to keep us straight. Not a lot of rudder. Alright, we're up. Gear up. Flaps in. Flaps completely in. Auto throttle on. We're gonna keep climbing. Halt our climb just a little bit. Alright, let's go ahead and flick back in. We're going to turn on autopilot for auto heading, and then we're going to hit altitude mode. We're supposed to go up to 6,000, I believe. Then we're going to turn on our nav. Okay, we're gonna go to, let's set our speed up to 230, or 245 maybe. Well, we'll go 240, we don't want to come even close to the speed limit. We're supposed to go to 9,000 actually, so we're gonna pull this up to 9,000. Okay. We're going to go Whidbey departure on 118.2. Whidbey departure orbit 2515 at 5,700 for 9,000.
Whidbey departure orbit 2515 is at 5,600 feet, climbing 9,000 feet. Orbit 2515, Whidbey departure altimeter 29.908, continue to WATTR as planned.
2998 for orbit 2515. Okay, so we are working our way up. It's amazing. Beautiful morning. Flying out over Rakes Glen. Gonna fly right over the nature preserve here. It's a good old picture of the little hook there, the spit. They don't have the lighthouse out on the end of it, but technically at the end of this there's a lighthouse right out there. They don't seem to have it. It's beautiful.
Orbit 2515, please expedite your climb 9,000 feet.
Alright, we'll expedite our climb to 9,000 feet.
Orbit 2515, contact Seattle Center on 125.1. Good day.
125.1 orbit 2515.
125.1 orbit 2515.
Seattle Center orbit 2515 is at 7,000 for 9,000.
Seattle Center orbit 2515 is passing 6,900 feet, climbing 9,000 feet.
Orbit 2515, Seattle Center altimeter 29.907, continue to WATTR as planned.
29907. Orbit 2515. Alright. Protection Island right there.
Orbit 2515, climb and maintain 17,000 feet.
Climb and maintain 17,000 feet for orbit 2515.
Climb and maintain 17,000 feet, orbit 2515.
Flight level change. $17,000 in 3, 2. Nice. Okay, there we go. This is a good little climb. We're doing all right. Working our way around. Coopville. That's military base up there. The Whidbey Island over there. Climbing pretty good here. Down there is Port Townsend. We're over 10,000. So we can increase our speed. Let's go ahead and pull our speed up a little.
Orbit 2515, contact Seattle Center on 128.5. Good day.
128.5, good day. Orbit 2515.
128.5 for orbit 2515.
Seattle Center, orbit 2515 is with you at 17,000 feet.
Seattle Center, orbit 2515, 16,900 feet.
Orbit 2515 Seattle Center altimeter 29.907 continue as planned.
Continuous planned, orbit 2515.
15 climb and maintain flight level 230.
Climb and maintain flight level 230, orbit 2515.
Climb and maintain flight level 230, orbit 2515.
We're climbing to 23,000 feet. Snohomish underneath us. Here's what it'd be. Alright, looks like we're cruising up to 23. Looking pretty good. Alright, so I think we're at our cruise. So we're gonna bring ourselves up to a cruise speed now. So we're gonna bring ourselves just under our red line cruise speed. So start at 300 and see how close we are to the barber pole. Got a little bit of a tailwind, 51 knots. It's a pretty hefty tailwind. Alright, so that puts us close to the barber pole. Why don't we just go 310 and call it a day? That gives us about 15 knots clearance. We're above 18,000, so we're going to go 299. Standard air pressure. $2,992. All right. So we're all set up here. We're in cruise. So while we're in cruise, let's go ahead and figure out our frequencies for our landing. So there's two ILSs. There's runway 3 and runway 21. We're going to put runway 3 on nav 1 and runway 21 on nav 2.
Seattle Center on 120.3. Good day.
120.3 for orbit 2515.
120.3 for orbit 2515.
Okay, so we are good there. Now we're cruising. We are inbound and moving. No data on the nav. We are about 169 miles from Spokane. Nearest airport there is Skyhomish. It's a little turbulent. Nothing we can't handle. It does tend to happen when you're flying over the mountains, though. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Please buckle in. We are experiencing a little bit of turbulence over the mountains. Seattle Center, orbit 2515 with you at 20 flight level 230.
Seattle Center, orbit 2515, flight level 230.
Orbit 2515 Seattle Center. Continue as planned.
Continue as planned, orbit 2515.
All your Prime subs are belong to us.
Evil bot overlord. If you do drop a prime sub our way, we will be eternally grateful. Thank you for watching. Alright, we're hitting a little turbulence. Let's bring ourselves down to 0.75 Mach. That will help us out immensely. Why don't we click to Mach. Point. Yeah, 0.75 Mach. Well, I mean, we're going 7.1 Mach, so I don't even think we're... I don't think we even have... Yeah, 5 Mach is over the speed limit, so we're just going to come right back down. Set ourselves back at... Why don't we go down to 300? Maybe that'll help us a little bit with the air. Just slow down a little bit here. There we go. Still not all that bad, really. Just a little bit of turbulence off the mountains. almost over the mountains. I think a lot of this is probably coming from the tailwind we've got going on. We have a 49 knot tailwind.
Orbit 2515, contact Seattle Center on 132.6. Good day.
132.6, orbit 2515.
132.6, orbit 2515.
Seattle Center, orbit 2515 at flight level 230.
Seattle Center, orbit 2515, flight level 230. Orbit 2515, Seattle Center, continue to YM as planned.
Continue as planned, orbit 2515. Whew. Okay, we're taking our turn, our first turn for navigation. That crosswind's really catching us as we take our turn. It's a beautiful day today. It looks like the autopilot's recorrecting for our drift there. I think we're almost done with our cruise phase. And pretty soon we'll start into descent. Wind is pretty brutal right now. Some double check. Yeah. Like we're doing all right. Still pretty minor turbulence.
Orbit 2515, contact Seattle Center on 126.1. Good day.
126.1, orbit 2515.
Going to 126.1, orbit 2515.
Seattle Center, orbit 2515, flight level 230.
Seattle Center, orbit 2515, flight level 230.
Orbit 2515, Seattle Center, continue as planned.
Continue as planned, orbit 2515. at that river. Coming out. Coming out. Quincy Munn. Look at that. That's so shiny. Alright, so pretty soon we are going to be coming up on the airport. So I'm going to start reducing my speed a little. We're going to go down to we're going to go down to 250. First we're going to go 280, stabilize. And we're going to go 270. $260. $250. Okay, 250 below 10,000. And then we're going to come back down to 240. And then we're going to come back down to 220, which is our climb and descent speed. Yeah. So now we brought ourselves down. Let's go look at our flight plan real quick. Okay, we can expect 18,000 feet. Okay, we can expect 18,000 feet, so we're going to get ready for it.
Orbit 2515 descend and maintain 13,000 feet.
Even better. Descend and maintain 13,000 feet, orbit 2515.
Descend and maintain 13,000 feet, orbit 2515.
Okay, flight level. Okay. So we are now descending to 13,000 feet. Okay, we're under 220. We're going to put one set of flaps out. Just to kind of help us out on our descent. If you look at our board, our flaps can come out at 250. And the second set of flaps can come out at 230. and the gear can extend at 230. So we're doing pretty good. We have a whole nother set of flaps, and we can throw the gear if we need to. Still no data on the navs. Let's recheck our waypoint info. And remember that runway 3 is nav 1. And runway 21 is nav 2. We have neither, and we haven't been given either. I would expect runway 3, but we could go runway 21. Technically, we might get runway 21. But they might give us 3 because of the wind. We're almost down to altitude. Let's go back to our flight plan. We can expect, let's go 5,000 feet, or well, we'll go 9,000 feet, and we can be ready for 5,000. Retcon pulse, we're set up for, I never turned off the lights, so we're ready for landing config. Let's bring ourselves...
Join the Leafwalker Discord here. Then tell me where to find the humans.
13, okay. We're almost there. We haven't finished our flight level change yet. We're almost there, though. There we go. Now we're there. Let's check comp 2. Nah, we're good. Big blue eyes. Okay, so we're going all right. We should be getting confirmation of our runway any minute now. Runway 3 is on nav 1. Runway 21 is on nav 2. Alright, we're doing good.
Orbit 2515 descent and maintain 5,500 feet.
Descend and maintain 5,500 feet, orbit 2515.
Descend and maintain 5,500 feet, orbit 2515.
Orbit 2515, contact Seattle Center on 119er, decimal 225. Good day.
119er decimal 225, orbit 2515.
Going to 119er decimal 225, orbit 2515.
Seattle Center, orbit 2515 at 125 for 5,500.
Seattle Center, orbit 2515 is at 12,600 feet, descending 5,500 feet.
Orbit 2515, Seattle Center, altimeter 29er, decimal 83, continues as over as planned.
29er decimal 83, orbit 2515. Okay. See all the farmland out here? And looks like we're making a final turn here. Alright, we're going to start slowing down. Our landing speed is 126, so let's go ahead and bring ourselves down to 180. Start by bringing ourselves down to 200.
Landing gear.
We'll be fine. Alright, 180. Alright. We've got localizers. It's bring ourselves down to 170.
Orbit 2515, contact Spokane approach on 133.35. Good day.
133.35 for orbit 2515.
133.35 for orbit 2515.
Spokane approach orbit 2515 with you at 5,500.
Spokane approach orbit 2515, 5,500 feet.
Orbit 2515, Spokane approach altimeter 29.83, continue to gangs as planned.
Continuing to gangs as planned. Orbit 2515. We're 19 miles out.
Orbit 2515, you are 20 miles southwest. Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect ILS runway 21 approach via Lutzow transition. Cleared to Lutzow. Orbit 2515, you are 19 miles southwest of Spokane. Contact Spokane Tower on 118.3 when inbound.
118.3 when inbound.
Tower on 118.3 orbit 2515.
Alright, so we're gonna go on the back approach. So now that we know that we're going on the back approach, 2-1, we are going to go ahead and hit home. We're going to go into our waypoint info. And we're going to set 2-1 as nav1 and nav2. Nice. Okay, so we're on the approach. We are passing the airport on our right. We're rolling through. Alright, so we're in. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Please stow all luggage and make sure all trays are in the upright and locked position. We will be landing in just a few minutes in Spokane. We are on our final approach in, and we're going to be taking our turn in just a few minutes. So just get strapped in and ready to go. Thank you for flying Orbit Air.
YouTube. You will subscribe to Zek's channel. It's free and mandatory.
Awesome. Evil Bot Overlord. Alright, so we've got everything we need. Let's make sure we're set up for full landing config. We're going to turn our APU back on. APU on. We're going to set our ground spoilers armed. We're going to go ahead and kill the icing. We are at a nice temperature now. Don't need that on. All lights are on. We are armed for emergency. We are ready to flip over to nav. APU gen will be on. Ready to go. Let's pull ourselves into. We need approach at 150. As soon as we start to make our turn, we'll slow to 150. Actually, we should probably start now. We'll go down to 160. Gear out. Flaps out. Approach 150. We are starting our final turn.
Spokane Tower,
Tower.
orbit 251515 miles, north inbound ILS runway 21 approach.
Orbit 2515, Spokane Tower. Altimeter 29er decimal 81 wind 19er, 5 mid 9er. Cleared ILS, runway 21 approach.
Cleared ILS runway 21 approach.
Hey, Lil.
Orbit 2515.
coming in. We're making our final turn off of our downwind onto our base leg. How you doing, Lil? As soon as we're done, this is going to be more like a base leg to final. It's going to be a nice smooth turn. So we're not even really going to get a base. I'm going to hit full configuration as soon as we're done making our turn. How do I know where I'm flying? I'll show you. So I made a flight plan. I started with my departure airport, filed this flight plan through all these little dots and points, and then I just was told what my approach was when I came in close, so then they gave me all these points to follow, and then the computer does a little bit of calculating, and then the purple line holds you on. So what you don't see is this map right here. Because it won't, it's apparently it's just not working. But I actually have a map that I can see. There's a map here, and I have a map popped out, a popped out version of this map that I can zoom in and out and keep an eye on. So like I'm looking up onto my map and I know that I'm halfway through my base turn onto final now. So because we're on halfway onto final, I'm going to bring my speed down closer to 130. We're going to throw our third set of flaps. We're going to bring our speed down to 135. Is it real time? Yeah. Real time, real everything. So this is exactly what my weather is like, exactly what it looks like outside there right now. You can see the ground. Alright, we're going to lock onto the localizer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and we're going to lock on to nav 1. I'm at right now, Spokane, Washington. Just about to land. Alright, so we are locked in. Our glide slope, green triangle, is above the glide slope, so we're good still. The localizer's pulling us in now. We're in full landing configuration, flaps fully out, gear fully retracted, speed 130. Have I flown to Australia yet? Not in this plane. This is an itty bitty plane. This has a 3,500 mile limit. I might try that though. I'll have to get comfortable with a bigger plane though. Right now I'm very comfortable with the systems on this plane. And it's a smaller regional jet. Alright, so see our green dot's coming down. When our green dot gets to the black arrow, here, we hit approach. And that'll lock us on the approach. We're just watching that green dot. It's almost there. And now we're locked onto the approach. You can see the airport in front of us, just off in the distance right here. See the freeways. See the traffic moving on the freeways. Traffic simulated, but it's a nice touch. Alright. You can see little cars moving on the roads every once in a while. Alright, we are 10 miles out from landing. I'm gonna go COM 2 and pull up the weather.
Spokane Airport information, Charlie 17000 Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility 10.
Altimeter 30. So technically, you do not have to wait the whole time. You could speed up time, but I play fairly.
15 with calm cleared to land runway 21.
Hold on. Cleared to land runway 21, orbit 2515.
Cleared to land runway 21, orbit 2515.
I'm trying to play for realism, so I'm trying to learn the callouts and say them before I send it. So I would fly at real time. And you can pause. So like if I had to go to sleep, I could just pause the sim and then come back to it. But you don't have to fly real time. I do fly real time though. Because what you can do is say, oh, this is all ocean, let's fast forward to the approach. As you can see, we're inside the blue box, so we're doing pretty good. Alright, we're going to take over, keeping speed. So now I've turned off autopilot for speed, so now I'm in control of speed. We're gonna just softly decrease the speed a little bit. Because 120 is our landing speed. Notice we got a little crosswind. Alright. Little crosswind here. Alright, I'm taking over the plane. Reducing power. Reversers on.
Orbit 2515, turn next taxiway.
Pulling in our flaps. I'm not bad. I'm not perfect, trust me. I don't know if you'd want to fly in the plane with me, but I probably could fly it, yeah.
Orbit 2515, turn next taxiway.
Roger that.
Orbit 2515, contact ground on 121.9er.
121.9 or orbit 2515.
121.9er for orbit 2515. Spokane ground, orbit 2515 taxi to the gate.
Orbit 2515 taxi to gate 21 using taxiway Delta Alpha.
Taxi to gate 21 using taxiway Delta Alpha to orbit 2515.
Taxiing to gate 21 via taxiway Delta Alpha orbit 2515.
But yeah, Lil, I've done quite a bit with this plane.
Join the Leaf
it's-
Walker Discord here. Then tell me where to find the humans.
So yeah, it's I don't think you'd want to fly with me, but I probably could fly it if I had to. With extreme help. Because I'm sure a lot of the controls are dumbed down. To be honest, Lil, flying isn't hard with autopilot. Landing, landing is hard. All right. All right, there we go. Parking brake on. Let's turn autopilot is off. Okay. We're going to go ahead and start shutting this plane down. Nav source, GPS. We're going to go LGen 1 off, LGen 2 off. Ground power off. Alright, then we're going to go Gen 2 off, ground power on, batteries off. And we're going to go ahead and turn all of our lights off. Then we're going to turn our emergency lights off. All our main lights are off. we're going to go ahead and kill our engines. There we go. Nice. Okay. Pretty good. All right. So let's go ahead and finish this. We're going to turn off the fuel. We're going to go ahead and kill the APU. Turn off all main power. Turn off external power. Cold airplane. Then we're going to call for... There we are. So we're cold airplane. We're actually going to turn the external power back on. All right, electronics on. Left electronics on. Left mains on, right mains on. Turn our batteries back on. Cut. So we've got ground power. We're gonna
Pause system test. Okay.
pause system test. Okay, perfect. Now we're going to go ahead and talk to ground. We're gonna have them request jetway.
Spokane ground, orbit 2515. Could you please connect the jetway to the aircraft?
Orbit 2515, we can't connect the jetway to the aircraft. Please retry later.
Okay. Cool. All right, so that was a good flight. So let's go ahead and do a... We have about a half hour left, so let's do a short hop. So let's go ahead and select our departure airport, local, and then we'll go ahead and click the fuel box. And then we will go ahead and click our arrival. Why don't we do Seattle? So we've picked Seattle. We're going to do low altitude airways. We're going to do automatic. Flight conditions are live players only. All right. Off. No AI traffic. Then we're going to go ahead. Flight conditions are live. Live weather. So we're going to go ahead, head back, and then we are ready to fly. So we're going to go ahead and fly out of here. All right, so let's change our flight plan. We're going ALCM to SeaTac. All right. So let's start from cold airplane. Cold airplane. Ready to fly. All right. Airplane is cold. We only need this much fuel, so we're good. All right. Let's. The airplane is mine and should be cold. It's not. All right. So let's check everything out. Okay. So our bus tie is closed. Our batteries are off. External power is on, however. So let's go ahead and get this started. We're going to start by turning on APU Gen. APU Gen is on. We're going to go ahead and start the APU. APU start. So the APU is now starting. We're going to roll back over to our power. We're going to go left gen on, right gen on, bus tie open, left battery, right battery on. Set, right. A little cold out there today. Icing protection on. We're going to go ahead and turn on our landing lights, our recog, our pulse. Our panel is already on. We're going to turn our floods on. We're going to set our emergencies to armed. Turn our inspection lights on. Okay, we are here. Set our barometric. We're going to turn on our flight director, and then we're going to turn heading bug on. We'll set that when we get on there. Altitude, until we're given an altitude, we're going to put it at 5,000 or 6,000 as a general exit altitude. Then we're going to come down. We're going to hit our flight plan. It is not loaded yet, so we are going to turn our speed bugs on. We're going to hit KC tack. We're going to grab it. We're going to go runway 16 left as 1 and runway 16 center as 2. Okay, then we're going to move to our next set. We're going to make sure that our fuel valve is open. We're going to come back across here. We're going to take our right engine to run condition, power on. Left engine run condition, power on. So our engines are spooling up. Our ground power is now off. We're going to turn our speed bugs on the right on. We're going to turn our minimum to 500. And then we're going to turn our nav to GPS. Bearing 1, bearing 2. This is runway left. This is runway center. Speed bugs are good. We are ready for... Check our flight plan, see if it's loaded. It's loaded. So we are ready for clearance. So let's go ahead and call for clearance.
Clearance delivery, orbit 2515 ready to copy IFR clearance to Seattle.
Orbit 2515 is cleared to Seattle Airport as filed. Climb and maintain 8,000 feet. Departure frequency is 118.2 squawk 5414. Clearance point 30 minutes from now.
Orbit 2515 cleared to Seattle Airport as filed. Climb and maintain 8,000 feet. Departure is 118.2 squawk 5414. Clearance void 30 minutes from now.
Orbit 2515, read back correct. Good day.
Alright, so we've got our pushback, we've got our clearance. Let's go ahead and call traffic. We're going to select our runway for takeoff. We're going to go runway 8. And then we're going to announce our taxi. So before we announce our taxi, let's go ahead and do a final check here. Alright, let's go turn left, turn right, up, down, flaps out, flaps in, rudder. There we go. Alright, so everything is working. We're going to call our taxi.
Kilo Charlie Lima Mike traffic orbit 2515 is taxiing to runway 8.
Alright, so we're going to turn out. We're going to start our taxi to runway 8. We're going to go ahead and set our flaps down to take off. It's 2. Flaps 15%. Alright. So we're taxiing out to runway 8. We've got our clearance. And we have, once you get your clearance, you have 30 minutes to take off. Alright, things we're going to do while we are taxiing. First thing we're going to do is we're going to set our manual speed to 220 for takeoff. Okay, so we're at 220. You can see 220 on each of the speeds. Okay, so we will be able to hit 220 once we are up in the air. And 8,000 feet. So we're almost there. We've got our flaps to takeoff configuration. We've done our checks. We have our clearance. We're going to line up and wait on runway 8. We're going to double check for traffic. No traffic. All right. Yeah. We've already called for clearance, so we can pass the clearance line. All right. We're just going to take this tight turn. We're going to sit on the lineup and wait line for a second here. I'm going to look. Right. Look left. Got no incoming inbound traffic. So we're going to go ahead and line up and wait on the runway. Alright. Alright, so we're going to hit the center line. Then we're going to stop our forward momentum. Alright, here we go. We're going to depart straight out.
Kilo Charlie Lima Mike traffic orbit 2515 taking off runway 8 departing straight out.
We'll wait for the engines to get there. We're going to release. Toga, toga. V1. V2. Rotate. Flaps in, gear up, positive rate. Flaps completely in, airspeed set. Autopilot engaged. Nav mode on. Flight level change, 8,000. Flaps in completely. Gear is in. We are climbing. Nav is engaged. Would be departure orbit 2515 at 5,000 for 8,000.
Would be departure orbit 2515 is passing 5,400 feet, climbing 8,000 feet.
Orbit 2515 would be departure altimeter tree 0.01, continue to WATTR as planned.
Continue to WATTR as planned. Orbit 2515. Alright, so we're up. Good takeoff. We're moving. Nice little takeoff. We're up and out. Flying right over the game preserve. Beautiful morning. Look at those clouds. All right. We're rolling in. We have our left and center runways for nav 1 and nav 2. We are not above 10,000. So we're going to take our speed to 230 and then 240. And 240 is where we're going to keep our speed, so we do not break the 250 barrier.
Orbit 2515, contact Seattle Center on 125.1. Good day.
Going to 125.1, orbit 2515.
125.1 for orbit 2515.
Seattle Center, orbit 2515 at 8,000.
Seattle Center, orbit 2515, 8,000 feet.
Orbit 2515, Seattle Center altimeter 29.98, continue to WATTR as planned.
29 or 9 or 8, orbit 2515.
Orbit 2515, climb and maintain 12,000 feet.
Climb and maintain 12,000 feet, orbit 2515.
Climb and maintain 12,000 feet, orbit 2515.
Flight level change. Alright, we're up in there and we're making our change. We're also making a turn. Alright, we're about to cross 10,000, so let's go ahead and mess with our lights. We're going to turn all of our landing lights off. Leave recog and pulse on. Turn off wing inspection. APU off. We're at 12,000.
descend and maintain 8,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 8,000 feet, orbit 2515.
Descend and maintain 8,000 feet, orbit 2515.
Alright, we're going to go down to 235. We're going back under 10,000. Flight level change. We're going to go back up, turn our runway landing lights back on. Wing inspection back on.
Orbit 2515 descend and maintain 11,000 feet. Keep speed not above 250 knots.
Descend and maintain 11,000 feet. Keep speed not above.
Descend and maintain 11,000 feet. Keep speed not above 250 knots. Orbit 2515.
Okay, this is where the they give you conflicting. The HC gives you conflicting things to do. So we're going to go down to 220.
Orbit 2515 descend and maintain 8,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 8,000 feet, orbit 2515.
Descend and maintain 8,000 feet, orbit 2515.
Orbit 2515 contact Seattle Center on 128.5.
128.5 for orbit 2515.
128.5, orbit 2515.
Okay, there's a lot going on right now. Seattle Center, orbit 2515 at 10,000 feet for 8,000 feet.
Seattle Center, orbit 2515 is at 10,400 feet, descending 8,000 feet.
Orbit 2515 Seattle Center altimeter 29.9. Continue as planned.
Continue as planned, orbit 2515. Alright, we're coming up on Griffey. So what I need to do is we need to get our speed down even more. We're going to go 180. I'm going to pop out one flap. Drop down to 180. We're going to do it nice and slow though.
Orbit 2515 contact Seattle approach on 126.5.
126. 126.5, orbit 2515.
Going to 126.5, orbit 2515.
Landing
180.
gear.
We're fine. Alright, Seattle approach, orbit 2515 with you at 8,200 feet.
Seattle approach, orbit 2515 is at 8,200 feet, descending 8,000 feet.
Orbit 2515 Seattle approach altimeter tree 0.0 tree continue to NEOs as planned.
Tree
Orbit
0.23.
2515 you are tree 1 miles north. Descend and maintain 6,000 feet. Keep speed not above 210 knots. Expect ILS runway 16 left approach via Griffey transition. Clear to Griffey.
Descend and maintain
Maintain 6,000
feet.
feet.
Speed not above 210 knots. Expect ILS runway 16 left approach via Griffey transition. Clear to Griffey orbit 2515.
So, we have picked, remember how earlier we picked our approach left and center? Well, now we know which one we have. So we are going to go ahead and hit our approach 16 left via Griffey. But we are also going to jump into our airport, and we're going to go 16 left, active 1, 16 left, active 2. Then we're going to come across, and we're going to go ahead and go nav 1 as soon as we have the we have it. So we're going to go nav 1. So we've switched to the approach nav hold. Okay. So it is centering us up on the approach via Griffey. Okay. We're still 25 miles out. Okay. So we're on the approach. We're locked into the localizer.
Orbit
And it isn't
2515, descend and maintain 4,000 feet.
descend and maintain 4,000 feet, orbit 2515.
All
Descend
your
and
prime
maintain
subs
4,000
are
feet, orbit
belong to us.
2515.
Flight level change. Evil bot overlord. You are evil. Alright, we're heading down. We're at 180. We're still about 21 miles out. We don't really need our gear out just yet. Our landing speed's going to be around 130. Okay. You can see our glide slope dot has not started to come down yet. You can see the water coming up on downtown. We're at 15 miles still.
Orbit 2515, descend and maintain 3,200 feet.
Descend and maintain 3,200 feet for orbit 2515. Alright.
Descend and maintain 3,200 feet, orbit 2515.
Going full runway configuration. Gear out. Flaps down. We're going to go approach 150.
25, you are 11 miles north of Seattle. Contact Seattle Tower on 120.9 when inbound on the approach.
Alright. Acknowledge instruction.
Tower on 120.9 or 5 orbit 2515.
Okay. So, as soon as our diamond gets to black, we hit approach. Okay, our diamond's coming down. Our green diamond is about to touch the middle of the black. And approach mode engaged, and now we contact tower. Seattle Tower, orbit 2515 at 3,200 feet.
Seattle Tower orbit 251510 miles north inbound ILS runway 16 left approach.
Orbit 2515, Seattle Tower. Altimeter tree, 0.02 wind 17 tree at 19er. Cleared ILS, runway 16 left approach.
Alright, acknowledge.
Cleared ILS runway 16 left approach orbit 2515.
This is where things get a little hazy for me. Now we're doing alright. We're inside the blue. Alright, we need to be at 106 at landing. Okay, we're going to take over the speed. Okay, we are in control of the speed.
Orbit 2515, wind 17 tree at 19er. Cleared to land runway 16 left.
Cleared to land runway
Cleared to
16
land
left, orbit
runway 16
2515.
left orbit 2515.
Alright, we're going to bring our airspeed down to 135. Coming in. Radio altimeter should be kicking in soon. We're at 1,200. We're gonna hold. We're gonna slowly bring the power back as we get in over the runway.
500.
Make sure we have our ground spoilers on. Start slowly bringing the power back.
Autopilot. Stall. Stall. Stall.
Bring the power back.
Stall. Stall.
There we go.
Orbit 2515, turn next taxiway.
There we go. That was a little rough, but we made it. Let's get off the taxi. Roger, and then we're
Orbit
gonna stop.
2515 contact ground on 126.875.
126.875 for orbit 2515.
Going to 126.875 orbit 2515. Ground orbit 2515 request taxi to parking.
Orbit 2515 taxi to general aviation parking using taxiway Hotel Bravo Golf Alpha.
Hotel Bravo Golf Alpha for orbit 2515.
Taxiing to general aviation parking via taxiway Hotel Bravo Golf Alpha orbit 2515.
All right. We are getting over there now. Alright, we're working our way. Working our way. We're gonna get a little bit of a fast taxi here. I'm gonna pop a little reverse thruster, slow us down a bit. It's pretty close. Pretty close parking right there. We are at Bay 189. Let's throw those reversers on. And we'll just kind of give ourselves a nice soft touch here. Brakes on. Alright. Let's turn her off. Okay, so we've made it. Let's go ahead and start doing the systems reset off. We're going to go ahead and make sure our APU is still on from landing. So we are going to come back across and we're going to kill engine 1 and 2. There we go. Total time. And that's a successful takeoff and landing. Great. Let's go ahead and kill the fuel pump. Let's go ahead and close the covers on the 2 engines. We're going to go ahead and kill the APU. Then we're going to turn on ground power. Turn off the gens. Then we're going to go ahead and turn off the batteries. And then we're going to go ahead and shut down our airplane. So let's go ahead and turn off the icings. Turn off all the lights. Okay. These are independent bus ties. These are closed bus ties. So this is allowing the power through. And this is making sure that the power doesn't come through on both sides. So technically, I guess we should have it coming through both sides. But I guess in normal operation, you want each generator powering its own thing, and only in an emergency do you really want them all tied together. Alright, so let's go ahead and turn off the left side. And then we'll turn off the right side mains, and then the right side electrical, and then we'll go ahead and turn off the main power. So now we've turned off all power. We should have a nice cold airplane. Airplane is cold. There we go. And that's how you do it. Thanks for watching. I know you have lots of choices. Thank you for spending your time with me. We are going to raid on out. There's nobody watching, really. So we're just going to say have a great day. And we'll see you all tomorrow. Bye. Take it away, evil bot overlord.
You can run, Leaf Walker. But you cannot hide.
I will find you, human. I am your overlord.
Have a good day. For now.